What if your favorite game didn't just entertain you, but followed you into your dreams? Ever pause a game not because you were bored, but because your heart couldn't take it anymore? From haunted mansions and derelict spaceships to twisted minds and cursed towns, these games don't just scare, they scar. Get ready to uncover 10 unforgettable nightmares that will crawl under your skin and never let go. 1. Resident Evil 7. Biohazard. Resident Evil 7 reinvented the franchise by shifting to a first-person perspective, creating a more intimate and terrifying experience. Set in a decrepit Louisiana plantation, players assume the role of Ethan Winters, who is searching for his missing wife. The isolated setting, combined with grotesque enemies and disturbing imagery, delivers relentless psychological and body horror. What makes RE7 stand out is its return to slower, more tension-filled gameplay compared to earlier action-heavy entries. The Baker family, especially Jack and Marguerite, serve as unforgettable villains that relentlessly stalk the player. The game also utilizes photorealistic visuals and strong sound design, immersing players deeply in a nightmare that feels disturbingly real. 2. Outlast. Outlast is a first-person survival horror game set in the Mount Massive Asylum, where players control investigative journalist Miles Upshur. With no weapons or combat abilities, your only tools are a camcorder with night vision and your wits. This design choice forces players to hide and flee, increasing the sense of vulnerability. The game's pacing, sound design, and sudden scares create a gripping experience. You'll explore dark, blood-stained corridors while being chased by terrifying patients and uncovering a sinister secret. Outlast popularized the run-and-hide style of horror gameplay and remains a benchmark for indie horror excellence. 3. Amnesia. The Dark Descent. In Amnesia, you awaken in a creepy, deserted castle with no memory and only a note to guide you. As you explore its shadowy halls, you must manage your sanity, which decreases when you're in darkness or witness terrifying events. The game's strength lies in its oppressive atmosphere and psychological horror. What makes Amnesia a masterpiece is its commitment to helplessness. There's no combat. Instead, you hide and pray the monsters don't find you. The game uses minimal UI and eerie audio cues to plunge players into panic, creating moments of pure dread that stay with you long after the game ends. 4. Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is a psychological horror classic, lauded for its complex narrative and symbolic monsters. You play as James Sunderland, who travels to the fog-covered town of Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his dead wife. As the town distorts to reflect his guilt and trauma, players navigate through eerie environments filled with deeply unsettling imagery. Its storytelling is its greatest strength, weaving horror with themes of grief, guilt, and repression. Iconic creatures like Pyramid Head and the oppressive sound design make every step nerve-wracking. Silent Hill 2 isn't just scary, it's emotionally disturbing, making it one of the most profound horror games ever made. 5. Dead Space Remake. The Dead Space remake revitalizes the 2008 sci-fi horror classic with modern visuals, improved controls, and an even more terrifying atmosphere. Set aboard the derelict USG Ishimura, engineer Isaac Clarke must survive while fighting off grotesque alien creatures called necromorphs. The ship's claustrophobic design adds to the terror, with enemies bursting from vents and walls. The remake improves upon the original by adding voice acting for Isaac, new side quests, and reworked mechanics that enhance immersion. Strategic dismemberment, zero-gravity sequences, and visceral gore combine to create a heart-pounding horror experience that feels more intense than ever before. 6. The Mortuary Assistant. In the Mortuary Assistant, You play as Rebecca, a new embalmer working the night shift at a funeral home. As she performs the duties of body preparation, supernatural events begin to unfold, from sudden apparitions to demonic possessions. The routine of embalming is made terrifying by the unpredictable appearance of evil entities. The game cleverly blends real-life mortuary procedures with atmospheric and jump-scare horror. Its randomization system ensures each playthrough offers different scares, keeping players on edge. This indie title has gained popularity for its originality, creepy setting, and psychological tension. 7. Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is a multiplayer ghost hunting game where players investigate haunted locations to identify different types of spirits. Armed with tools like EMF readers, spirit boxes, and cameras, players must gather evidence while avoiding being hunted by the ghosts themselves. The tension builds as the ghost becomes more active the longer you're inside. The game supports VR, which intensifies the immersion and terror. Communication plays a key role as players use in-game voice chat that spirits can actually react to. With regular updates and new content, Phasmophobia continues to evolve, offering both fun and fear, especially when played with friends. 8. The Evil Within. Directed by Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami, The Evil Within thrusts players into a nightmarish world full of grotesque creatures and mind-bending environments. You play Detective Sebastian Castellanos, investigating a mass murder that spirals into a descent through distorted, deadly realms. The game mixes stealth, survival, and intense action. Its standout feature is its ever-shifting environments. You can go from a creepy asylum to a bloody hallway in seconds. With limited resources, psychological horror elements, and boss fights against twisted monsters, The Evil Within challenges players both mentally and strategically. 9. Layers of Fear. Layers of Fear is a first-person psychological horror game focused on a tormented painter losing his sanity. Players explore a Victorian mansion where the world around them constantly changes. Hallways twist, rooms melt, and time loops as the story unfolds through visual storytelling and eerie audio logs. The game doesn't rely on combat or typical jump scares. Instead, it builds dread through disturbing imagery and psychological tension. Each moment feels like walking through a nightmare painting, making it a unique and artful take on horror that's more unsettling than outright terrifying. 10th PT Playable Teaser. PT was a surprise demo released by Konami as a teaser for the cancelled Silent Hills project. Developed by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, it became one of the most acclaimed horror experiences ever. Players loop through the same haunted hallway, with each pass becoming more disturbing and surreal. Despite its limited environment, PT built terror through unpredictability, cryptic puzzles, and a ghost named Lisa, who could stalk and kill you unexpectedly. Its intense psychological horror, photorealistic graphics, and immersive audio design made it legendary, so much so that fans still discuss it years after its removal from the PlayStation Store. Think you're brave enough to play them all? Or did just watching give you chills? Let me know which horror game haunts you the most in the comments below. And if you love diving into the darkest corners of gaming, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and ring the bell so you never miss a scare. Until next time, sleep with one eye open.